Hey, Lysandra Everett here from www.noexcusesapproach2.com, bringing you a recap of Vikings Season 3, Episode 3, Warrior's Fate. Okay, so first, let's get to the Warrior's Fate. We lose Thorstein. He sacrifices himself. Oh, this was so sad. Okay, so the Vikings are getting ready to go and fight Princess Mercia's little brother, okay? And she's like, don't shoot my brother, whatever. Okay. So anyway, they've got to climb up this big hill, and so they were leaving. Now remember, Torsten just got his arm cut off, and so he's still healing from that. But anyway, so everybody's leaving to go fight, and he's laying there, and Rollo's like one of the last to leave, and he's saying, hey, don't leave me, I can fight, etc., etc. Anyway, so Rollo brings him up there, and so they get to the top of this hill, and they need to see if where the troops are and everything. So first Bjorn scoots up there, he doesn't see anything, and then they hear some horses, and then Torsten's like, oh, I'll go. So he goes up there alone, and they shoot arrows at him, and he puts up his shield, and one caught him in the leg, and then he just stands there, and then they shoot more arrows at him, and so they walk up on him, and he's down on his knees, and he's praying to Odin, and then he swacks at them with an axe, and so they killed him. It was so sad. I love Thorstein, but who's gonna care for his baby mamas? Remember in the first episode, when he was leaving Kattegat, he's got two chicks that both claim that they're carrying his baby. So who's gonna take care of his baby mamas and his babies? Oh, that is just so sad for me. Okay, moving on. Okay, so let me continue talking about the battle, and I'll get to the non-battle stuff in a second. Okay, so in the fight, yeah, Porunn gets slashed. Okay, she really kind of got her butt kicked in this fight. Yeah, she got tagged in the face a couple times, and then one of the British soldiers slashed her. So anyway, they get back to the rear, um, and so of course, Torsten's died, and Floki is so upset, and he tells Ragnar, this is your fault. And Ragnar's like, he told Floki, shut your face. That was just hilarious, okay? So he tells Floki, shut your face. Everybody made their choice to be here. It's not my fault that he died. He chose to be here, just like you chose to be here, so shut up. In walks Rollo and tells Ragnar, you need to come and see your son. So that's where they get to Thorunn, and she's laying there, and Ragnar's asking Bjorn if she's still alive. He's saying yeah, and Bjorn's saying, I didn't protect her, and Ragnar said, that's the shield's job. But then that's when Bjorn says she's with child, and Ragnar's head might as well have spun around. Okay, but before I forget, so Bjorn, when that soldier slashed his woman, he beat the crap out of that dude with his own helmet. He took that dude's helmet off and smashed his head in. He lost his mind. Okay, back to where they were. So he has just told Ragnar that that Thorunn is pregnant. And like I said, Ragnar's head might as well have spun around. He smacked Bjorn. He's like, I can't believe you're my son. You're strong, but you've got the will of a little girl. You let her come knowing that she was pregnant, and he's pissed. So he's like, you're not even my son, and just walks off. And then in comes Rollo with this voice of wisdom. Now, this is what's funny. Rollo ain't never been wise in the 2 years that this season has been on, but he comes in and he's the voice of reason, and I'm gonna promise you, okay ladies, he was so sexy. All right, now so he's telling Bjorn, you got to man up, you got to give this chick a reason to fight to live, and she's got this baby, but you got to man up, you got to be a man, and that's all there is to it. Be strong for her and be a man. That was just hilarious to me. But go Rollo, I'm so excited that you were the voice of reason here. Now back to the non-battle stuff. It's getting freaky back at the ranch, okay? So King Ecbert is going to where Lagertha and the other farmers are beginning their settlement, okay? And so he's riding along, and he can hear the nobles talking about him behind his back, and he's like, yo, you want to turn around and tell me that I'm not fit to be king here? I'm thinking about our expanding our territory, etc., etc. He's like, so what, y'all got something to say? Then everybody got quiet, okay? So they get to the settlement area, and so here he's bringing Lagertha this brand new revolutionary plow. I am telling you, he is totally sprung on Lagertha. Okay, now this is where it starts to get kind of hinky. They wind up back at the king's villa in his bathhouse. So he's like, who wants to take a bath with me? So that's the king, Lagertha, Athelstan, and Athelwolf's wife. I have got to learn her name. But anyway, so now they're all sitting in the bathtub. Athelstan and the Athelwolf's wife is on one side, and Lagertha and King Ecbert are on the other. And and so Lagertha and the king start kissing. Athelwolf's wife, she's like, okay, this is just wrong. I got to go. And so she leaves, and Athelstan goes after her, and he's wrapped in a towel. And I'm telling you, Athelstan is looking kind of good since season 1 when he was the captured monk. I mean, I'm like, hey, Athelstan, how you doing? Anywho, okay, fellas, if you're watching this, I know that's way too much. But anyway, so, he's saying, look, nothing's happened, you've done nothing wrong, you're cool. But, she was like, I want something to happen. So this is going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Okay, so, what else we got? Oh, okay. So back at home and, Kattegat. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention this on the last episode. So Calf, Lagertha's number 2 has taken over. They have decided he's gonna be the Earl. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen when Lagertha finally get back home. I need her to go slash somebody. The whole farm girl thing is nice, but I need to go whip somebody's butt. But anywho, now okay, so back at Kattegat now. Siggy, Aslog, and Helga, all of them have had the same dream about the same dude. Some dude walking in, he's got one hand bleeding and something else in the other. And they've all had this same dream. Well, he showed up in Kattegat. And so Aslog is, has invited him in and just listening to him. And she's, being very open and very welcoming. Siggy is like, I ain't trying to hear none of this. Her whole facial expression is like, this dude is not good news, okay? And anyway, so they're all in the Great Hall. Aslog, Siggy, and Helga are all in the Great Hall. And, then Ivar, I think that's not Ivan, something, Boneless. He starts crying. And so Aslog goes back to check on him. And then here comes this dude, and she's letting this dude all up near her her kids. I'm sitting here like, you gonna let some strange dude near your kids? You don't know him, where he came from. You don't know, he crazy. Okay, but anyway, so that happens. And, so he's telling them stories and all this stuff. And Aslog and Helga are just like, woo. And Siggy's like, whatever. And then Siggy goes to the Seer. Now, what was interesting about the Seer is I've never seen him look afraid before. But he did not look like, because normally he's very confident, like, I see it all, I know it all, like, I tell you what the gods tell me. But this time he was kind of, I don't know. And Siggy, because Siggy had a dream that she saw him bound and lying and bleeding, and he couldn't help himself. And so, so it was very interesting to me that he seemed to be kind of frightened. Now, and then near the end of the episode, this fisherman was out fishing, and then he pulls in 2 boys that were dead. They had drowned, and he said, what doesn't make any sense to me is why they were so far out to sea. So that was, so things back at Kattegat is getting kind of creepy. So, with this dude showing up, these kids wound up there. The Seer, he ain't acting all confident like he normally is. So that's going to be interesting there to see what's happening on the next episode. So I think that's it. So it's starting to get kind of mystical and magical back in Kattegat. It's kind of getting freaky back in, in England with Lagertha, Ecbert, and Athelstan. And I got to figure out the chick's name for the next episode because I'm tired of calling her Athelwolf's wife. Okay, so that's it for me. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.